Welcome back, Filmholics. My name is Galakaric, but in this channel I find anything and everything filmmaking. Now, today is Monday when I'm filming this, and it's March 24th of 2020, and it is marking the first day of lockdown in Albuquerque. And if you watched my last video, I mentioned that I lost my job, hopefully temporarily. So I used to work in a movie theater as a server, and this video is about my thoughts on what COVID-19 is doing to the film industry. Now, to answer this in short, what is it doing to film? It's doing three main things. So first off, it's actually causing a lot of films to be delayed or just postponed, or maybe not even be made. We don't even know that for sure. Second off, all theaters around the globe are closing down. And lastly, films are going straight to streaming services. So let's talk about those one at a time. The first one I mentioned is the delays in film. What this will cause is a mass slowdown in a lot of films if you really think about it all, because everything is funded by box office, and since there is no box office, a lot of films can't be made. And that means a lot of jobs will be lost, and eventually they'll run out of backlog things that they could release to the audience, because we don't know how long this will take, and if it takes a long time, they won't have movies to release. The second one I mentioned was closing theaters down. And like I mentioned, movies are funded by the box office, theaters, and opening nights and opening weeks depending on the contract. So even if theaters open back up after a while, it will take a while for movies to be made because, well, they don't have the funding for the past few months, and a lot of jobs will be lost, so quality will be lost there unless they want to keep maintaining that and postpone the film's release date. And that also means theaters will struggle since there's gonna be less content. That is also if people even show up by that time. And that leads us to the last part, where streaming services come in. With self-isolation and the past few years having some of the worst box office sales of history and lockdowns occurring, it's causing all the films to be released on streaming services on their release date. And also, another big factor is a lot more people are becoming more antisocial and becoming more homebodies to just watch their films, and rather would watch their films anyway in their home instead of the theater experience. Which a lot of people in the industry are worried that after this virus is gone, our theater experience might be dead with it. With all this being said, it makes me sad. For me, the theater experience is beautiful, from the good to the bad. From the long lines to the expensive food, or sitting to somebody that's just super loud, to coming in when it's day and leaving when it's night already, and you're just like, I just went through an adventure that I visually saw but you feel a part of. To laughing and screaming with random people near you, just as a giant group of people experiencing the same thing but in different ways in their head. But for me, nothing beats the moment where the movie connects to you and the group of friends you come with, and you guys leave and just stand outside in the parking lot, and you guys just talk about the films and your guys' favorite moments, the moments that really hit you guys, the really hype moments, something really cool that happened, a really cool shot, and you just stand there for a good 30 minutes just because you just love that film so much. Or if you just hated that film, you just talk about that out there, but you're with this giant group of friends or just a small group of friends, and you get to just talk about movies. But with every bad, there is a good. What I mean by that, with high budget films being harder to make, that means they have to work with a lot less. So instead of releasing as many movies as they can just to shotgun it and hope it sticks, they could make movies that have characters that we actually care about. Stories that connect us and just move us in so many different ways, because we live our lives differently than everyone else. A movie will talk to us in different ways than the next person, but that's what they're meant for. They're meant to talk to us, to hit us right here. And hopefully they make better quality films like that, like they did in the old days when they didn't have as many things as they can now with CGI and everything. They can make stories that move us all together. At least I hope so. But that's all I have to say about this subject. It's a bit emotional just kind of realizing that movie theaters could go out of business because of this. But hopefully that means they make better films and slowly make the theater industry back into a passionate thing instead of something that's just a business. But don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, and dream on.